You know, there's that age-old saying that you can't be what you can't see. We didn't really see much people that reflected us in that water, so why would we go to those spaces, you know? And I think now that we exist and people can see this, it's encouraging. They say, oh, well, them lot are doing it, so it starts kind of trickling on and has a knock-on domino effect. The 3 words I would use to describe Swimdem are pioneering, community, and liberation.
So Swimdem started with me, P, and Emily meeting up on Saturdays, swimming, chilling out, hanging out, making my first WhatsApp group. More people wanted to swim with us, and we were like, okay, what do we do now? So opened it up and made a community in the water, and been going for 8 years now.
I think the biggest achievement for Swimdem, as cliche as it sounds, is just starting, existing, being in that space, you know, because I think before us, we didn't really see much people like us in that space. It's not been easy. It's not been easy, you know, there's been roadblocks along the way, there's been barriers along the way, even people within the swimming world didn't want to let us in. On a more practical level, we recently swam a marathon, 10K, and for me, that was just like, wow. I came out of the water and I cried.
My proudest moment for Swimdem and what we've been able to create was we eventually got to create our own swim program and teach people how to swim. And that's something that took us, we always say it was like 5-6 years in the making, because you know, pools didn't want to communicate with us, they didn't get what we were doing, didn't understand why we were doing lessons this way, and you know, lessons for us. I know they wouldn't be in the water if not for us giving them that window and opportunity. So that's my proudest moment.
Yeah, I think the next 18 months for Swimdem, I think, is returning to the pool, you know. I think we all miss it. We all miss it dearly. So I think you'll be surprised how healing and how nurturing returning to the water will be in the community.
So for us, bridging the gap between the pool and the sea means knocking down those barriers that currently exist for people to, one, enter the water in the pool, but also enter the sea. So with the pool, you're tackling body image, confidence, embarrassment, that sort of stuff. So that's why we build a positive, uplifting community. And then with the sea, you want to give people the skills to actually swim in open water and be safe.
My first memory of the sea is Eastbourne. I think I was probably about 5, 6, 7 years, between 5 and 7 years old. So all the aunties are cooking. You know, the blue cool box containers is full of jollof rice. Oh, you know, so me, obviously I like food. So I'm going from auntie to auntie, cool box to cool box, getting it, and then, yeah, jumping in the sea. Luckily for me, I didn't have a fear of the water at that time, you know? So I was like, oh, I love this. This is great. Having a great time. I'm eating jollof and I'm by the sea, winning.
The people that hold like the keys, they need to think of swimming in new ways. So I don't think swimming should just purely be driven by profit. I think it's a public health issue. What does it look like for a pool to service its community?
On every estate or every street corner, there's a basketball, there's a football court, there's all of this, you know, it's accessibility so people can get into that. And I think when I was growing up, the local swimming pool, every Friday was £1. You know, so even if it was something like that, you could just go every Friday is £1. Then it's like, oh, okay, I'm kind of getting into the water, I'm understanding it a bit more, you know. But a handful of these swimming communities around the world have started because of us. You know, they've made contact with us, said, we love what you're doing, we want to do something like this over here, like in the States and stuff. You know, do we have your blessing? How do we do it? You know, we give them the blueprint. All of us, you know, community swim clubs, and we're going to meet somewhere in the world, and the Power Rangers will get back together soon.